Pathogen is a very thinky abstract game, a genre of games that I'm not actually usually a big fan of. It has a black and white board, and it has pieces that are trying to complete one of two different objectives. And right there from the get-go, I was impressed that there are actually two different win conditions, connecting a board across from one side to the other, or building settlements in the 4 quadrants of the board. You build settlements by having 6 of your influence markers in one location. Those are the same influence markers you can use to try to connect one side to the other. That I found interesting, and then it had an asymmetric aspect to it where one player is a little bit stronger than the other, but has a smaller, more restricted movement board. And the movement board is actually shared between the two players that feels so potentially disconnected from the main board and yet so brilliantly intertwined. This is a hard game to describe. It's a hard game to wrap your head around. It's very thinky, it's very brain-burny, and yet a ton of fun. It's hard for me to really love abstract games like this. A lot of times I feel like you're playing until one player just makes a mistake and then the other player kind of wins from that. And this one feels like you are accomplishing a lot on your turn. You're not just simply undoing the progress that the other player made. You can work towards your own paths, and then at some point you say, but I have to make sure to keep an eye on what the other player is doing and try to put them into a little bit of a trap. Because you have this movement board where you have a shared pawn that each turn you will move to one area and then follow that movement path on the main board, you can kind of force your opponent's hand a little bit in a unique way, one that I haven't seen done elsewhere. This is going to be, as I said, a little bit strange to teach, hard to wrap your head around, but really, really worth it. If you can find a copy of this, and if you like abstracts, I imagine you'll like this a lot. And if you're like me and you don't tend to love abstracts because you just feel like you keep playing them wrong, this might be one to check out. I'm giving Pathogen an 8. I love the theme, love the asymmetry, love the look of this. It's not traditionally beautiful per se, but I think that what this does, the art style conveys a degree of thinkiness that is appropriate for the game. So I would check this one out. Pathogen, an 8 from me.